It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway here on EA Sports. Well, now how about this return? And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Off play action, Richardson. That's complete to Pierce. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Richardson out of the shotgun. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Richardson working from the gun. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 38. They'll run. This is Khalil Herbert. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Richardson. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
11 more on that one and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Khalil Herbert taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Colts are on the board first here this afternoon.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So that drives 7 plays in length. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now, because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. He'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A run straight ahead with Achane. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Running right, here's Achane. 26 yards on the play there, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an explosive play that'll be a check and a plus on every grade sheet and still not get a 1st down.
Yeah, they had put themselves in a bad spot, but a big gain, that helps. Out to his left. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a 1st down.
Looking to pass. Tua. That's caught. Nick Westbrook-Akine with it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 2. Up the middle, Achane. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, back to Achane. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Waddle, the motion man right. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And Waddle going to have a Dolphins first down as he'll get this down to the 32. 4 yards on the pickup. Good enough to extend the drive. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
It's Hill, complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
But one thing we know about RPO throws, they don't take long to develop. He had him wide open to the outside, hit him with it, but I think his eyes were looking downfield trying to see that open grass. Ends up dropping it. That's a missed opportunity.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
On the option to give to Taylor here. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
This one finds Pierce on the out route. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Here's Richardson to throw. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Malik Washington deep for Miami. Fielded at about the 28. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Third and 19. In motion, Hill. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The quality coverage from Juju Brents, who swatted that away.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Richardson looking to throw. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And Taylor going to pick up the Colts first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run once more with Taylor. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited by what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
From the shotgun, Richardson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Now Richardson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Colts are able to stretch out their lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Miami set to take over. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. In motion is Westbrook-Akina. On play action, here's Tua. That's going to be caught downfield by Hill. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Now Tua. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 26. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And they'll give this to a champ. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and they will remain 2 scores down as the difference holds at 11.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42.
Richardson. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Richardson looking to throw this. Out to the right and complete to Pittman.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down.
On the option left, Richardson.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Richardson.
He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd down and 3. Now it's Richardson.
And his throw is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
They'll try and run the option.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Little read option, the end result, the first down, so a good read.
And the way teams are running it nowadays, they've added variety to it. You know, the original way was you read the defensive end. If he crashes down, you pull it and you go. Now they may not even block that person, may end up reading the linebacker, may read the cornerback. Just depends on how they want to block it up. In any case, this worked well for them. Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Off the option, here's Taylor.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3.
So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at the 34.
Hand off to Achane to begin the drive. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
They work now on 2nd and 9. In motion is Westbrook-Ikhine.
Tua going to throw.
Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
49 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now 3rd down and 7. Richardson working from the gun.
Flush to his right. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. They'll look to throw now on first down.
And this taken in by Downs.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the 35 on 2nd down.
Richardson got his man. It's Warren.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 24-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Richardson out of the shotgun.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
Out of his hands quickly to Pittman.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
Here's Richardson to throw.
This is caught. Touchdown!
Michael Pittman
in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Colts will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Point after try forthcoming. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Tua, a final shot before half. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The Colts got a strong first half from their quarterback, Anthony Richardson. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That is caught. He's going to have the first down and then some. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 73 yards. And the Dolphins come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime. than sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Richardson looking to throw. Lets one go downfield for Pierce. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Richardson off the play fake. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Well, the Dolphins offense and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this 3rd quarter. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Short throw to Smith. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
On play action, here's Tua. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone. But the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off of play action, Tagovailoa rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
And the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now we'll pause for the injured player, and it's Jonathan Taylor who's shaken up. That certainly would be a major loss for this offense. Hopefully he's okay. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Off play action. Richardson. And this one is going to be off the mark. Too far out in front.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Play action. Now Richardson. He's got his target. That's complete.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Tyrell Dodson able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Richardson. He'll get that underneath to Herbert.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Richardson looking to throw this.
He finds his man, complete. That's one.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
Read option. Here's Herbert.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Khalil Herbert
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Colts have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So the drive there took 6 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Second down and 8. Now a toss right side. HN with it. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They're losing here in the third quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
And while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was the place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Now Richardson. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 4. Herbert powering up the middle.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Now it's Richardson.
He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Herbert now on the option. He's got it to the 43 here. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Throwing on second and long. Richardson. He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be a third and about 13.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's a give to Herbert. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. There, Richardson back to throw it. And that's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Richardson working from the gun. This taken in by Downs. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the 3rd quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now we get Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Miami offense back out there. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now Tua. And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 15. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's Richardson to throw. That is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Third quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10. A handoff for Herbert.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Richardson shotgun on third down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Here's Herbert. He'll take this to the 46.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, here's the option. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Richardson looking to throw.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
That is caught by Herbert.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And that nearly intercepted. Oh, a chance at a big play in his own end zone. But instead, 3rd down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Colts!
Alec Pierce
from 8 yards out.
And the Colts start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throw caught by Achane.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late point. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Tua. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the gun, it's Tua. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down and 6 now. Again, it's Achane.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Devon Achane.
A 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And the drive finished off with a touchdown run from Devon Achane.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Colts offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
A yard, all they need, but it's third down.
Looking to throw. Richardson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
They set up the screen. Achane has it.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Tua going to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua. He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On play action, here's Tua.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Looking to pass, Tua. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Tua to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
This goes out wide from Madison.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Short throw to Smith. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Tua sets up to pass it. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Smith. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. A quick throw there is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Again, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins get a bit closer.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Tua and the Dolphins offense staying put. They'll go for 2. Tua going to try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
This is Herbert. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. From the gun, it's Taylor. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.